Good evening, everyone. My name is Nurul Masita binti Abusani, and today our group is presenting a character analysis of the mother from the short story Living by M.G. Vatanji. Next, please. Right. Set in Tanzania, this story introduces us to a woman who has spent her entire adult life as a widow. After her husband passed away, she was left with the massive responsibility of raising five children on her own. As we go through our presentation, you will see that she isn't just a parent, she is the backbone of the family. And her primary goal in life is to ensure her children are happy and well educated. To understand Mother's character, we have to look at the sacrifices she made early on. For years, she ran a busy store on Uhuru Street to provide for her family. However, as soon as her older daughters were married and settled, she made a huge decision. She closed the shop and sold it. She didn't do this to retire or rest. She did it so the family could move to a quieter area, allowing her youngest sons, uh, allowing her youngest sons, Alu, and the narrator to focus entirely on their studies. This shows her most defining trait, which is selflessness. She was willing to give up on her livelihood and her familiar surroundings just to give her children a better chance at a future. Now, I will pass the floor to Amira, who will explain what happened after they moved to their new home in Upanga. Thank you.
So, Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nur Amira Natasha binti Abdurrahman. So, I would like to discuss the setting and how it reflects the mother protective natures in the story. So, one of the major change experienced by the family is their move um, from the busy and lively Uhuru streets to Upanga. Unlike Uhuru Street, this was full of activity and people. Upanga is described as a quiet, isolated, and even frightening. For the narrator and Alu, this new environment feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable because they are suddenly separated from the vibrant atmosphere they were used to. However, the mother has a clear reason for making this decision. She believed that a peaceful environment will help the children focus better on their studies. Although the move requires the family to leave behind the comfort and excitement of their previous neighborhood, she is willing to make that sacrifice because she sees education as the key to a better future for her children. Next slide, please. So these decisions highlight one of the mother's most important characteristics, which is her protective and focused nature. Rather than prioritizing her own happiness or convenience, she puts her children's needs first. By choosing a quieter place to live, she creates a safer and more disciplined environment where they can concentrate on their educations without distractions. Overall, the move to Umpanga demonstrates the mother's deep sense of responsibility and care. It shows that every decision she makes is driven by her desire to protect the children and give them the best possible opportunity to succeed in life. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. My name is Yasin binti Azam. So I'll be presenting this slide which focuses on mother's internal conflict when confronted with the American dream. Okay, am I audible? Okay, thank you. Okay, so when Alu first brings up his intense desire to study in America, mother's immediate reaction isn't support, but it was deep resistance. So she completely dismisses his ambition, treating it like he is just playing games or cracking jokes about having imaginary uncles in America who will magically support him. But if we look beneath the surface, this reveals a major key trait. She is highly skeptical, but more importantly, she is terrified of abandonment. She has already given up her youth and even her shop for her children. So the thought of losing her youngest son, which is Alu, to a far place like America creates a painful emotional barrier for her. So, to show this emotional vulnerability, the book uses direct quotes where she asks him, "And why do you want to go away so far from us? What kind of son are you?" So, this highlights the friction between her maternal fear and Alu's individual ambitions. Okay, moving on.
Okay, I will continue with the next part. So, hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Ariel Arabel Demi Anatoni. Next, I will discuss the turning point in the story, which is when the mother seeks advice from Mr. Velji. So, at this point in the story, the mother is unsure whether she should allow her son to accept the scholarship opportunity because it is a major decision that could affect his future. Therefore, she turns to Mr. Velji for guidance and advice. Then, during their conversation, Mr. Velji tells her that the scholarship is a great thing because it can provide her son with better educational opportunities and a brighter future. So, this shows that he recognizes that the value and benefits of the scholarship. However, Mr. Velji also gives the mother an important warning. He tells her, if you send him, you will lose your son. By this, he does not mean that she will lose her son physically. Instead, he means that the son may become emotionally distant from his mother after leaving home and building a new life elsewhere. As a result, the mother experiences inner conflict. On one hand, she wants her son to have a successful future, but also on the other hand, she is afraid of losing the close relationship they share. This makes the decision very difficult for her. So, therefore, this meeting with Master Velji becomes the turning point of the story because it forces the mother to choose between keeping her son close to her and giving him the opportunity for a better future. Thank you. I will pass the next part to the next presenter.
Hello everyone, my name is Noor Amira Batrisha binti Azil Amir. So today I'm going to continue the presentation about the deep dive of the story. So, in this part of the story, the narrator begins to see his mother differently. Instead of viewing her only as a parent, he starts to recognize her as a person with her own struggles, sacrifices, and emotions. The narrator realized that his mother is only 33 years old, despite being widowed at a young age. She never remarried and devoted her life entirely to raising her children. This realization helps him understand the challenges she has faced over the years. He remembers how his mother used to be smiling, beautiful, and full of life. However, in the present, she appears tired, with lines on her face and rarely smiles. These physical changes reflect the hardships and responsibilities she has carried alone. One of the mother's most important traits is her resilience. Even though life has been difficult, she continues to work hard and care for her children without giving up. The effects of her struggles can be seen in her appearance, showing how much she has endured for her family. So, overall, the main idea is that the mother sacrificed her youth, happiness, and personal dreams for the sake of her children. Through the narrative's growing understanding, readers are encouraged to appreciate the sacrifices parents make and the strength they show in overcoming life's challenges. So I'll pass my presentation to the next person.
Okay, so I'll be presenting the resolution. So the resolution of the story occurs when Alu finally leaves for America to pursue his medical studies. And throughout the story, his mother struggles with the idea of letting him go because she deeply loves him and fears being separated from the young son. Okay? And then, although she's heartbroken, she eventually accepts his decision. So this acceptance marks the end of the conflict between Alu's ambitions and also his mother's emotional attachment. So the resolution is significant because it shows that both Alu and his mother must make sacrifices. Alu sacrifices the comfort of home and family, while his mother sacrifices her desire to keep her son close to her. The ending suggests that personal growth often requires difficult choices and also huge courage. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so here are the final character analysis. By the end of the story, Alu is portrayed as an ambitious and also determined young man. His dream of becoming a doctor motivates him to work hard and seek educational opportunities abroad. Despite the challenge he faces, Alu never gives up his goal. It shows that he is persistent and also focused. He understands that leaving his family will, but he believes that pursuing his education is necessary for a better future. Alu is also can be considered as caring and respectful as well. He does not ignore his mother's feelings. Instead, he struggles with the emotional consequences of his own decisions. This demonstrates that his maturity and sense of responsibility is there. Therefore, Alu characters represents courage, determination, youthful ambition, independence, and the willingness to make sacrifices in order to achieve one's dreams. And then, as for Alu's mother is presented as a loving and protective parent. Resistance to Alu's departure comes from her deep concern for him rather than selfishness. Okay, so throughout the story, she worries about losing her son and being left alone. However, by the end of the story, she demonstrates great strength and selflessness. Even though she is saddened by Alu's departure, she chooses to support his future. This decision reveals her unconditional love as a mother. She understands that sometimes loving someone means allowing them to pursue their own path, even when it causes personal pain. Her character symbolizes parental sacrifice. Okay, so next slide. So, in conclusion, the ending shows that letting go is both painful and necessary. The mother's final conditions reflect the fear of losing culture and control, while the departure marks his independence. So the story closes on a bittersweet note, highlighting love, sacrifice, and also the emotional cost of change. That's all from us. If you guys have any questions, you may.
Okay, yeah, I have one question. Okay, why did Mr. Welji describe this scholarship as a great thing?
Thank you so much for that question. Well, the reason Mr. Velji described the scholarship as a great thing because he believed it will give the son access to better educational opportunities and a brighter future. He recognized that the scholarship could help the son achieve success and improve his quality of life. Although the opportunity would require sacrifice, Mr. Velji understood that it could open many doors for the son, personal growth, and future achievement. Thank you once again for that question.
All right, so I have another question, which is, was Alu being realistic about going to America, or was he just too excited?
Thank you for the question. Initially, Alu was not being realistic about going to America because he was completely blinded by his excitement. When his scholarship arrived, he immediately dismissed his local university options by laughing at them. But he had absolutely no plan for the actual cost. It was only when his mother questioned him about how he would afford the plane ticket and spending money that his hopes began to look unreal. He naively suggested he could just work in a restaurant to pay things back, proving he did not grasp the real world difficulties of moving abroad. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, so I have another question. So, do you guys think that the mother was being too overprotective by moving the family, or was it necessary for the children's education? Thank you for the question. The move from busy Uhuru streets to quiet Upanga may seem overly protective at first. However, the mother met this decisions to create a peaceful environment where her children could focus on their educations, and her willingness to sacrifice comfort highlights her love, responsibility, and commitments to their future success. All right, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question. What moral value can we learn from this story?
Okay, so I think one moral value is determination. Because Alu works hard and remains focused on his goals despite many obstacles. So, and another moral value is love for family, shown through his mother's sacrifices and concern for her children. But eventually, she met them. So, yeah, that's all.
Okay. Yay, habis.
Yay.